Hey y'all, it's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Saturday night at 7, and that means it's time for a video tutorial, and I've got some fun things to show you tonight, so I hope you're with me. Let me just get over here off to the left and be sure I am transmitilating as planned, so that this is not just going out into the ether. Oh, my page isn't available right now. You know, Facebook, you have got a lot of things to think about what you're doing. There we go. All right, it looks good. Hi, Diane. Hi, Mary. Hi, Karen. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Terry. Appreciate y'all joining. Karen, you're probably going to recognize this fun fold today. Hi, Alicia from Rainy, Ohio. We had that this morning, and now it's gone. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks, Karen. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Holly. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Carol. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and get started. This is called a Tower Fun Fold, and it is really cool. And my friend Karen Zensakovic, and if I said that wrong, Karen, I just apologize straight up, okay? I'm so sorry. But she did one or two and did a video on it, and I thought it was so cool. And then one of my team did one, and I was like, okay, yeah, now I have to do this. So this is how it looks from the top. Pretty cool, really. Not terribly difficult. I mean, it's like not the easiest fold on the planet, but it's certainly not the hardest either. So we're going to work on that. And we have the beautiful Pansy Petals suite from the new 2021 to 2022 annual catalog. And it is so gorgeous, you guys. I can't even begin to tell you. Hey, Jaretta, thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Zensakovic, yay! Happy hands, happy hands. All right, so let's get started. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make a little bit different floral here because I want to show you a little more of the coolness of this suite, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to keep this where we can find it so that I can kind of refer you back to it. Now, tomorrow I have made two templates, okay? I've got your basic score and cut template, and then I made your fold template, all right? So you'll be able to see that tomorrow. And this is, just so you'll know, the blues with the V's are valley folds. I know, it's crazy. The M's on the greens are mountains, and then I've got these don't folds right here, all right? And that'll all make a little more sense in just a half a heartbeat. Okay, you'll be glad to know I did actually cut a card base. I almost forgot that. Let me show you what the card base is going to look like before it gets decorated. This is Pale Papaya. Isn't this gorgeous? So you can see that really it's really just a series of score lines, and then some partial cuts between the score lines, and then the trick becomes folding in the correct direction. And once you do that, you're ready to rock and roll. I love a fun fold that will stand up. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. I have a piece of early evergreen. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, Barbara. Appreciate you joining. And what I'm going to do is, using my score tool, just because that's easier for me, I'm going to refer to my score and cut page, and I am going to score really in 1 inch segments. So I'm going to go 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, and then I'm going to skip a little bit and start at 5 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 1/4, and this is an 8 1/4 inch long. Don't do like I did on my very first iteration, was wonder why I had an 1 1/4 out here, because I had not read the directions very well. Karen had given them to me, and I just ignored them. Okay, so you can see I have 3 1 inch segments, 3 1 inch segments, and then my little center, and I am ready to put this aside and pull out my paper trimmer, Thanks, Barbara. I love this bundle. Hi, Lenny. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and it may be a little bit hard to see, which is why I did one on papaya so that you can see what I'm doing. Really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the side, one side at a time. I'm going to first put it at 1 inch, and I'm going to score from this, or I'm going to cut from this score line to this one, and then from the next set to the next one. Then I'll move it to 2 inches and do the same, and then I'm going to turn it like this and do 1 inch and 2 inches, okay? And I only show you that because it's always hard to see on these dark cardstocks, okay? Which means there's a distinct possibility that I will work this up. It's possible, this could happen. I've borked before. First off, I should probably start with the correct direction. Okay, so there's 1 inch all the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my cutting tool down to the 1 inch mark, really just lining that little indentation up with my score. And I'm going to bring it over the top of the first one to the second one. Then I'll just pick it up, bring it down to the next grouping, and go what is essentially a 2 inch cut, right? Pretty simple. Then I'll move to 2 inches, like a so, and rinse and repeat. Actually, I'm not going to rinse anything because, you know, rinsing cardstock, just so you know, it doesn't work. Just saying. I mean, you can try it, but it's certainly not going to get rid of any smudges. And then I'm going to bring it down essentially to 5 1/4 and cut to 7 1/4. Okay? So there's one side done. Now I'll just flip it 180 degrees and repeat. 1 inch. And this video will, of course, be on my YouTube channel, and it will have a link tomorrow on the blog. So if you forget any of this, you'll be able to come back. All right, and then down to 5 1/4. And just so you know, I can see things scrolling on my phone, but I'm holding my mouth just right, and I'm not looking at anything you're saying. So please don't believe I am ignoring you, okay? I am not. I'm just concentrating. I'm concentrating so hard. Okay, I'm putting that at the 2 inch mark. There we go. And then I'll start up here at 1 from the top and go to 3. And then 5 1/4 to 7 1/4. Okay, and I am done. That is all there is to that. Now, yes, you do have to concentrate a little bit, or all of a sudden you are, you know, you're cutting where you really didn't want to cut. Just throwing it out there. Hey, babe, appreciate you joining. Okay, so I have everything cut. Now I'm going to refer to my fold template. And first I'm going to fold this end. And then I'm going to fold this end. This is a valley fold, okay? Now, here's just really all you have to kind of break it down to. You have mountain, 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 these folds right here, and valley, valley. So 3 mountains on each side, 2 valleys on each side, okay? So then it just becomes a matter of, you know, playing with it to get the cardstock to go the direction you want it to go. But once you get it going, you can start to see it falling into place. So now we have mountain, push through to valley, to mountain, to valley, to mountain. And then these center scores, you don't fold at all, okay? Got it? But I got to fix that because that's not at all correct. Okay. So let me get this fixed. Here we go. And you can kind of fold it up. And this right here is why this fun fold fits in an envelope. Now, not going to fib you. There's a lot of cardstock here, okay? And so you're going to need to put a little extra something on for the postman, okay? And you're going to want to be real careful putting it in your envelope. And then I'll just turn it over and give these sides a little score. This is called a tower fold. Mary, tower fold. Hi, Claire. Appreciate you joining. And there we go. Now it's just time to decorate. But you know what? Let me make a circle here because I screwed this up. This is not really folded. Yeah. So I got to get that off of my template or I will just mess you guys up. No and. Okay. So I can put that aside now. And now it's time to decorate. So let me pull out my little bowl of goodness here. I am using, so I've got Early Evergreen and Soft Succulent are my kind of main colors. And then I've got some Blackberry Bliss and I've got some Fresh Freesia. So all of the new in colors, well, a few of the new in colors are being played with here today. But I'm going to show you 2 things because I want to I want to show you how to make these little pansies, but I'm going to use DSP pansies on this particular card. Now, on my sample, this pansy right here and these leaves are cut from the DSP. So you can see this is the pattern that has the flowers on it, and it's got all the colors, okay? And then you have a pattern that has the leaves in the soft succulent, and I think that's soft seafoam and early evergreen. So the dies, you have dies that go with, this die cuts the large flowers and this one cuts the smalls. And then you have 2 leaf dies that cut out those images, which is awesome because that means run it through a few times and you got you some flowers, okay? But on this one, I did make a cardstock pansy. So I'm going to just show you how to do that and then I'm going to assemble this, okay? Is that okay with you guys? It might take an extra little thing, a little extra thingy different. Okay. So first we'll put these out and get them kind of out the way, okay? Out the way with you. Now, let me show you the dies to make a pansy. You're going to want this die right here. Can y'all see that okay? And want this die, and I cut it with just basic white, and you can see that it embosses as it cuts, so that's pretty cool. And then this die right here cuts these leaves that I have cut in fresh freesia. Okay? Easy. Now, what I did is I just took a little bit of yellow. It didn't matter which one. I'll just use a little bumblebee because where's my bumblebee? There it is. Because that was the color I had. And I'm just going to very lightly color the middle of my flower. Very lightly, okay? Not non-existently, just lightly. Like so. So just putting a little bit of yellow in the center. And then I'll take a second blender brush and I'm going to use some fresh freesia to put a little bit of shading on my 2 fresh freesia petals. Okay, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just a little to give it a little something, something. A little more in the middle at the bottom. Like so. Okay. And I better close those because I'm going to have an inkastrophe. Oh, Sharon, I hope you will try it. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, to put this little doohickey together, you're going to also want, in a coordinating color, and you know what color pansies are. I mean, if you don't know what color pansies are, you can just look at the DSP to get some ideas, right? So I used this die to cut a piece of Blackberry Bliss, and this little doohickey to cut another piece of Blackberry Bliss, and then this little doohickey, that's my new technical term for dies, this doohickey to cut a bumblebee middle. Okay, now you just have to assemble. Cut, glue, assemble. All right, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a roll here, like so. And then I'm going to use a little liquid glue to put my little Blackberry Bliss doohickey on here. You might want to wait. I might have rolled a little early. I got a little excited right there to roll, and so don't roll quite so quick, okay? Because I'm going to have to unroll to get this adhered. So first glue down your Blackberry Bliss doohickeys, and then you can roll it, okay? Does that make sense? Glue, then roll. Glue, roll. Do a glue roll instead of a roll glue or something like that. Okay, now I'll take this one right here, and put it in the center. Hey, Suzanne, appreciate you joining. I'm going to put it right here like this. See how it just starts to look like a dang pansy? It's like a pansy. It's just like a pansy. I love pansies. I need to grow some. Oh, now look. Wait a minute. It's here somewhere. There it is. Did you see that little guy tried to get away from me? Really? Come on. come on. And then you can just put that little guy right there in the middle. Once you put that little smiley, that little guy, it all starts to come together. So I'm going to let that dry just a second. Give these two just a little bit of a curl. And recurl the curl that I'd curled before, that I then had to unfurl and curl, okay? And then we can just put a little bit of glue, like so, and a little bit more, or you could even use a dimensional, which I'm gonna do, although I don't know, it may not stick now that I've put glue there, we'll see. It seems like a dimensional would stick extra good with glue, but sometimes that is not the case. Alrighty, here we go. It is magic. Oh, I'll bet they are beautiful. This is their time of year up there, huh? And then you can just stick that on the back like so. And then if I was going to use them, I would put some leaves in. Might put a leaf in there. Put a leaf here with some glue, and you have a beautiful pansy. All right, so I'm going to put this in my use it another time stack, because what I'm going to use for this one, let me put my dies away, because you know the only thing worse than losing a die is losing a die before the catalog even goes live. That is depressing. And I know this because I have so done it. But as you can tell, I have not made my swap to my magnets yet. It's time for the big swap. Okay. So, what I'm going to make for this one, let's go ahead and decorate our card. Why don't we? I've got some of the DSP, and I've got some soft succulent mats. Let me get all the right lengths together, if I could. Indulge me for just a second, you guys. And then I have some shorter ones for my tops. I'll put those aside, and then this is for the back. Okay. There we go. Now I'm just going to adhere these little pieces to my soft succulent. Those petals go on the bottom. Okay, well. You mean like down here? Oh, I guess they do, don't they? Here, we can fix that. That's just adhesive. That's barely even on. No wonder that looks goofy. Thank you, Brenda. See? I'm so glad that you told me that. There, now that looks more like a pansy, doesn't it? That's a mo better. Thank you for the, you see, I don't even grow any pansies, so I don't even know. Of course, I knew something looked a little wrong. But you live and learn. You live and learn. Okay, so we'll just adhere these to their little mats with some liquid glue. Well, our big plans to put in our garden fence today went sideways because it rained like a moe all morning. And now it's wet, so we're just gonna, you know, wait a minute. Or a season. We don't know. We don't know. All right. And I guess I could have pre-matted these, but I know how much you enjoy sitting there watching me glue stuff. Because, you know, there's nothing more exciting than that. You know what else you could do is you could just put a little water in a bag of Quikrete and watch it dry. It's about as exciting, right? I know. I know. I understand. You're thinking to yourself, this is 10 minutes I am never going to get back. I will never get this 10 minutes back. Ever. All right. Now, while we're doing this boring stuff, I'll go ahead and do these as well. These go across the top, and I've used this design, which has a beautiful, beautiful pansies on it. All right, yeah, that's right. Okay. And una mas, and then we can start gluing. Yeah, it's been kind of going across the country. They had quite a bit of bad weather in Alabama and Mississippi, but it really petered out. I mean, it rained, but there was nothing severe by any stretch of the imagination. All right, let's go ahead and put these at the top. At the top, like a shoe. And you guys, you know I'm just eyeballing that, right? I'm just making it look the same distance like I do on cards with mats and card fronts. Same difference. All right, and there's that. And it does help if you close the card down so that you can adhere those across that strip right there. And then we'll do this on each side, like so. Aren't these colors gorgeous? I am so happy with the new in colors. I cannot even begin to tell you. Cannot even begin to tell you. Hail and wind, that's not good. Down in South Alabama, huh? Wow. Well, hope you'll stay safe, Brooke. All right. Okay. Now, I have a stitched shaped square, and I straight up borrowed this. I made air quotes, you just didn't see me. This design from Karen, and I've made this out of soft succulent, and I'm just adhering it to the center. The only trick is you do want to be kind of sure. It doesn't really hurt, but I would keep it from being glued there. So try to glue in this center area. Now I have the same exact size in white, and what I'm going to do is stamp my thank you from the Pansy Patch set. This has beautiful sentiments, and I really, really love the fonts, and they're quite delicate. I mean, that's a pretty small sentiment, so that's nice. It means you can play around a little bit. So I'm going to stamp this in Evening Evergreen right down here in the corner, like so. And then I'll adhere that to the card front. And then I'm going to just build my collage right on the card front, like I usually do. I wish they had a new blue. Yeah, a new blue would have been nice, but I'm a pretty big fan of the Misty Moonlight. I like it a lot. But you're right, we could stand a new blue. Now on this one, you just kind of want to be sure that you have it centered on your diamond, right? And so you can kind of check based on these gaps here and how much point you have above and below, and then kind of just wiggle it around. So if that wasn't a really good reason to use liquid glue for this, I just don't know what would be. Okay, so now we'll get one of my favoriteest embellishments ever that I am really crushed is leaving. Really crushed. I mean, like really crushed is leaving. A gold hoop, and I'm going to put it right there with a couple of glue dots like that. Find another glue dot on there. There we go. I like to use two because otherwise they wiggle and squiggle. Okay, now from the Simply Elegant trim pack, new catalog, you get silver and gold. I'm going to make a big old loopy bow, just a simple bow, but it's going to be big, with a doubled up length of the gold trim. Oops, come on now. Come on now. Well, she said she's going to. Oh my goodness, see what I did? You see what happened here? Do you guys know what just happened here? This is called a tower fold. Connie, it's a tower fold. Marina Mist was pretty too. I think Misty Moonlight might be my favorite blue. Certainly of what we have right now. Okay. Do you see what's happened here? Is I got a little cocky. There's a part of me that thought, hey, you've gotten pretty good at doing bows in public, so why don't you just, you know, cut it before you make sure you've got the bow? And that is how you come a cropper. So what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to take a second piece like this and not cut that one, and I'm going to make my bow. There we go. like a Sue. And I know that there's some of you yelling, do a bunny ear bow, do a bunny ear bow. But I always forget that. Okay, so I'm gonna make this like so. And then we'll cut it. And I'm going to adhere it right about there with a glue dot. Get my little glue dot right there. And I have an extra one on my finger. You ever notice if you needed one on your finger, you couldn't get it if you ever tried. All right. You see I keep folding the card down. It's really helpful to fold the card down when you're trying to work on it. Just throwing that out there. And then I'm going to leave that kind of willy and also nilly. And then I'm going to take a couple of the pansies that I die cut from the DSP and make myself a little design, a little collage, if you will. And it's going to be kind of like that. Like so. And then I'm going to stick some leaves in, okay? So let's go ahead and use a dimensional. Right there. And we'll put this little guy on. Did I take that off? You know you have to actually take the covers off. Did you guys know that? See, that's why you have to have a good demonstrators to tell you these important things like take the cover off of the dimensional. Hello. Okay. And then we'll put another couple of dimensionals down here for our larger flower. Taking those off. See, I can be taught. I can be taught. All right. And then we'll just put him like so. And then we can stick a couple of these leaves in that I've made. And we'll be ready to go. Yeah, I miss the, we used to have metallic pads and I do kind of miss them. They were fun to be able to use. I would be happy also if they would return the gold Wink of Stella. I like that. And then let's see, we'll just put a little bit of glue on there. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm putting the glue on the printed side and just kind of sliding it in like so. And all of you are going, that is not how pansy leaves grow. Well, you know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. And we'll call that our front. But wait, there's one more little goodie in this suite. And this could be my next thing. Yes, yes, Jackie, they have. Nioka, yes, I am doing a paper share. It's listed on my blog right now. Look, it's the Bumblebee trinkets. And I love them so much, I'm using 2 on this card. I am, because I love them. I can tell. And they're in the annual, which means they're good for a year. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm just going to put a glue dot on the back of one. And I'm going to stick him at a jaunty little angle right there. And how pretty is that with all that pretty gold? Yes. It's okay. You can say it's gorgeous. I don't mind. All right. Now, on this side, we'll just open it up and go ahead and glue these other strips on. And then we're going to stamp a couple of pansies. Because, you know, that's what we do too. We stamp, we die cut, we do all sorts of stuff. We're like a multifaceted organization. We can do it all. We can do it all. Yes, Debbie, you are welcome. And I'm so glad that Karen did it so that I would be reminded that it exists. Oh, and I see another leaf. I might add another leaf on the front. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. I forgot that I stamped some extras or cut some extras. Okay, now I have a small piece of basic white that is going to go in the center here. And this is where I'm headed with it. This is a great, I love this sentiment. It's really good with thank you, obviously. Obs. And I'm going to stamp it in the evening evergreen. How many of you noticed how many times I said early evergreen, which is not, of course, the name of the color. Yes, I said it a few times. Yes, so hopefully I won't keep saying it for another year. Well, Dancine, you know, they are gonna need extra postage. I would certainly put a piece of cardstock in front of it. And this might be a great card with all of this on it to be hand delivered. But I mean, I would try, I'm not gonna lie. I would try sending it through. The worst that's gonna happen is you have to pay extra postage. That's my theory on it. All right, so we're gonna put him right in the middle like so. Okay. Then I'm gonna make us a few pansies. How do you find my blog? Oh, thank you, Rosie, appreciate that. Now, what I have is 2 of the pansy images. They are the smaller ones. So this is the outline, not the outline, but the petal variegation. Maybe that's it. And then the fill. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this in Fresh Freesia, full strength. And then I'm going to stamp the fill in Fresh Freesia, stamped off once. Okay, and then we'll make some innards with some Blackberry Bliss that hopefully I will not get all over the place, which is entirely possible. Thank you all for having my back and sharing my blog post website. I do appreciate that. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this little guy across the bottom. Like so. And then we'll turn our block over, stamp off our fill once. Remember, when you're doing 2-step stamps, do the dark image first, regardless of which one it is, do the dark image first, and then come back with the lighter image so that you can see it to line it up, okay? And do take your time. There's a lot of little curves on that image, and you want to get it where it belongs. Like that. And then like that. Okay, so there's the start. And then I will take, yes, there's no I, so it's just stamps, initial N, lingers, like so. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to take Blackberry Bliss. This is the danger zone, people. I've got the Blackberry Bliss open. Highway to the danger zone. And then I've got this cute little middle guy. And you can you see that there's a little triangular shaped opening there? There's a triangular shaped opening in the stamp, so all you do is just line that up. I'm going to pull it to me just a little bit so I can do that thing I just said, which was, you know, line that up. Like so. And then the final touch is my bumblebee. Oh, Michelle, I'm glad. My bumblebee center. Okay, and it's just a little tiny triangle. Actually, it looks like a dog nose, but it's not. It's a pansy middle. And I'm just stamping it right in that opening in the center. Okay. And then I will adhere this, put that aside, to its soft succulent. We did not, Nyoka. I'm sure that there are people on here who had some weather that got their attention, though, because it was kind of all over the place. Did you have bad weather? I hope not. All right, so that is a soft succulent mat, and then I'm just going to put it on the inside. It is important that you put it right side up. Just saying. Just saying. And it would be easy to not do it correctly because there's no natural, this is the up, this is the down. From this side, you do have to check, okay? So I'll just double check one extra time. Okay. And there we go. And there is our tower fun fold with our DSP flowers. So let me just do my envelope right quick and we'll be done, skay. And for that, I'm just going to repeat some, no, not so many details. Not so many details. It's not so hard. I think I'll wipe off my block though, because I see a lot of stray fresh freesia that is going to cause me an issue. It's just a matter, it's really not so much when or if as when. So we'll just do the same again, couple of pansies on the front of my envelope. And the fill, stamped off once. Like so. I love these kind of build ones when they make sense and they're trying to be like real flowers. I think that's kind of fun. All right. Yeah, dogwood trees have beautiful flowers on them, and they're everywhere right now. They're totally in bloom. It's gorgeous here. It's gorgeous. Between the all of the old azaleas that are on the property and the dogwoods, it's really a nice time to live in Georgia. And when you go anywhere, people have stands of azaleas that have been around for years. I mean, you can tell they are old undergrowth azaleas, and they're just gorgeous right now. All right, and then the final answer is our little bumblebee middle, our little dog nose right in the middle. Actually, it's a pansy nose. Your little pansy nose. See, they have like little faces. So simple. Now, if you wanted to get all fancy, of course, you could make a mask, and you could mask and put some leaves on here, but, you know, I just don't think that's necessary. Now I'm going to put this Pansy DSP on my envelope flap. And I'll be done. Like that. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, I forgot. I almost forgotted something. After all that yakking about the bees, I almost forgotted. Okay, so I want to put one, just because I can. Just because I can, put another one on the back. Once you get up to extra postage, it doesn't matter anymore. And then we'll just put him right there like that. Aren't those the cutest darn things? All right, and there it is, a Tower Fun Fold. One with the pansy flower correct, and one with the pansy flower not at all. I'm going to figure out how to fix that before. Actually, I probably just won't post this picture. I'll post this picture. All right, guys, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for the technical information about where pansy leaves go. I don't know why I didn't figure that out, but I obviously did not. So I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope that you will join me on Thursday for my YouTube video at 1 o'clock. And you've still got time to get in on the DSP share. Alrighty, thank you so much, y'all. Have a great day. Thanks. Ta.